fight like a roaring fight, crypto and dreams under stadium lights, sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sports buffet, with the Ginch we play. Highlights, wild scores collide, it's a riot live tonight.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, March 3rd, it's Tuesday. Cold. It's raining like hell out today, but it doesn't snow. I would have preferred snow, because rain at these temperatures, it's ugly, right? Welcome to another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet. I am Ginch, Ryan, that's your host here on the Full County Entertainment Network. Also, partner with Goose Media. Thanks to the Ginch Quartet. Well, let's just jump into some of the news and headlines from today's world in sports. Arizona Cardinals are going to cut Kyler Murray. He'll be released. There was no shock. I said when he got hurt, he had played his last downs for the Cardinals. He was already guaranteed $36.8 million this year for 2026. He would have been guaranteed another $19.5 million for 2027 if he was still on the roster of the fifth day of this calendar year for the NFL, which begins March 16th. Murray said, quote unquote, to everyone that supported me and showed kindness to my family and I during my time in Arizona, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I want nothing more than to be the one to end the 77-year drought for this organization. I am sorry I failed us. I wish this community and my brothers nothing but the best. I'm no stranger to adversity. I'm prepared for whatever is next. I trust in God and my work ethic. I truly believe my best ball is in front of me, and I look forward to proving it. Godspeed. Kind of an up and down career for the first round pick, 2019. He will be going into his 8th year this year. So we'll have to see where he winds up. Indianapolis Colts have placed the transition tag. Quarterback Daniel Jones, reported by Stephen Holder Espin. The tag guarantees the Colts the right of first refusal for Jones, preserving the right to match any competing offer sheet he might sign with an interested club. The news comes ahead of Tuesday's deadline to assess franchise or transition tags on players who are scheduled to hit free agency next week. If Jones does not sign a competing offer sheet, he would earn a 1-year guaranteed salary of almost $38 million. So good for him. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that situation. Keeping with the NFL, Bears center Drew Dahlman, he's retiring from the NFL at age 27. Reported by Courtney Cronin, ESPN. Surprise to many. I remember he signed a free agent contract during last year's offseason where he inked a 3-year, $42 million contract. So, doesn't say why he retired, but he's retired. Let's see. Iowa State has discontinued their troubled women's gymnastics program. Reported by the Associated Press. The decision was announced by Athletic Director Jamie Pollard today. Comes not long after the school canceled the remainder of this season because of what Pollard described as unresolvable issues between players, coaches, and parents. Pollard said the school will replace gymnastics with another women's sport that provides equal or additional participation opportunities for female athletes. The school did say they will honor the scholarships of any current or incoming gymnasts who opt to remain at the university, including making sure that they will continue to have access to all departmental services available to Iowa State student athletes. Women's gymnastics at Iowa State underwent a complete review in 2018 because of various issues. In 2023, the university hired a Minnesota based law firm to do an independent evaluation of the program, leading to sweeping changes that included implementing a new coaching staff. When similar issues cropped up 3 years later, Iowa State initially opted to cancel the remainder of the season because Pollard said the student athletes felt the conflicts were so problematic they could not continue. So that's unfortunate. You never like to hear stuff like that. Reported by the Associated Press, World Cup playoff tickets on sale for less than $17 in Mexico. I'm not sure anybody wants to go to Mexico right now. But if you choose to go to Mexico and you want to watch the World Cup at a host city, it's $17. Reported by Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, there are a multitude of GMs in the NHL that are frustrated by the new salary cap rules at the deadline. New collective bargaining agreement between the NHL and NHLPA, which was announced in July, begins September 16th. The league, however, moved up a handful of new rules governing the salary cap to the 2025-26 season and only briefed its general managers about those changes last September. Team executive told ESPN, teams made plans, and then in September, the league changes the rules. It's Bush League. All of a sudden, you're one of these teams that's been kind of planning a certain way. They just changed the rules on you. NHLPA declined comment. The biggest rule changes targeted playoff teams that created postseason lineups that were over the regular season salary cap. It says here, for example, a team that places a high salary player on long term injured reserve could utilize his open salary cap space to acquire new players. But if that injured player returns when the playoffs start, something that has become commonplace in the NHL for some franchises, that team could have a lineup that exceeds the regular season salary cap with no repercussions. So those have to get on the same page, I guess. Interesting from the world of Major League Baseball. Atlanta Braves designated hitter Jurickson Profar, he is facing a 162 game suspension for PED usage. This is the second one, by the way. This is the second test, and the second time that he's tested positive within the last year. He would be the sixth player to receive a 162 game ban for PED use. According to multiple reports, he intends to ask Major League Baseball Players Union to file a grievance to baseball's independent arbitrator Martin F. Scheinman to appeal any discipline. Again, if you do the crime, you do the time. We'll see what substance he got pegged for. Doesn't really say yet. More news from the world of the NFL. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals saying bye-bye. There was no franchise tag used on him. He is an unrestricted free agent. So he is bye bye from the Bengals. We'll see where he winds up. The Jets have put the franchise tag on Brees Hall. Put it by Rich Cimini, who covers the Jets for ESPN. Hall's tag is the non exclusive version, $14.293 million, meaning he can negotiate with the other teams and sign an offer sheet. The Jets have the right of first refusal, obviously, and would receive 2 first round draft picks as compensation if they decline to match. So there you have it. Let's go to the NBA. Went over the standings yesterday. Scores from yesterday. Light slate. Rockets beat the Wizards 123 to 118. Leading scorer for the Rockets was Alperen Sengun. He had 32 points. He had 13 boards. For the Wizards, your leading scorer was Bilal Coulibaly with 23 points. The Celtics hammered the Bucks 108 to 81. Leading scorer for the Celtics, off the bench, Peyton Pritchard had 25. Hugo Gonzalez, 18 points, 16 boards. For the Bucks, leading scorer was Giannis. He had 19 points. He had 11 boards. The Nuggets outlasted the Jazz 128-125. Leading scorer for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray dropped 45. For Utah, your leading scorer was Keontae George. He had 36 points. The Clippers beat the Warriors 114 to 101. Leading scorer for the Clippers, Kawhi, 23 points. For the Warriors, the leading scorer was Brandon Podzimski. He had 22. On the slate today in the NBA, Mavericks and the Hornets just tipped off. Pistons, Cavaliers just tipped off. Wizards, Magic just tipped off. Later on, the Nets at the Heat, the Knicks at the Raptors, the Spurs at the 76ers, Thunder at the Bulls, Grizzlies at the Timberwolves, the Pelicans at the Lakers, the Suns are at the Kings. NHL scores from yesterday. Red Wings beat the Predators 4-2. The Blue Jackets in overtime over the Rangers 5-4. Final in a shootout, the Flyers 3, the Maple Leafs 2. Stars beat the Canucks 6-1. The Kraken beat the Hurricanes 2-1. Avalanche over the Kings 4-2. On the slate tonight, early in the first, Penguins up on the Bruins 1-0. Golden Knights Sabres 0-0. Panthers Devils in the first 0-0. Mammoth and the Capitals in the first 0-0. Predators Blue Jackets in the first 0-0. Later on, Blackhawks at the Jets. The Stars are at the Flames. Senators are at the Oilers. The Lightning are at the Wild. Avalanche at the Ducks. And the Canadiens are at the Sharks. Major League Baseball, since I know a lot of you follow preseason. Scores from yesterday: the Braves beat the Tigers 5-2. Nationals Astros 3-3 tie. Pirates beat the Rays 4-1. My Pirates are 9-2 in the preseason, but I don't give a shit about that because they're probably going to suck during the regular season. Cardinals over the Mets 3-2. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 7-6. Giants beat the White Sox 6-5. The Reds hammered the Cubs 17-9. Rangers over the Guardians 3-1. Dodgers over the Rockies 7-5. Angels beat the Royals 5-4, and the Athletics beat the Padres 7-2. Today's scores: the Rays beat the Twins 5-3. The Rays beat the Phillies 3-1. Padres beat the White Sox 4-3. Dodgers over the Guardians 5-4. And the Angels beat the Mariners 7-6. Let's go to NCAA men's basketball. Starting to get into the nitty gritty of it here before Selection Sunday on the 15th. Top 25 men's actions from yesterday. Number 1, Duke hammered NC State 93-64. And number 2, Arizona over number 6, Iowa State 73-57. Heavy slate today, top 25 action. Right now in the second, number 23, Tennessee up on South Carolina 57-44. Right now in the first, Georgia up on number 16, Alabama 38-29. In the first, early, number 10, Texas Tech trails TCU 16-14. In the first, number 13, Virginia over Wake Forest 11-5. In the first, North Carolina up on Clemson 11-7. Right now in the first, early, Georgetown up on number 18, St. John's 14-13. In the first, it was Miami Redhawks up on Toledo. They're still undefeated 20-10. 8 p.m., number 5, Florida will host Mississippi State. Number 11, Illinois hosts Oregon. Number 14, Kansas is at Arizona State. Number 24, Vanderbilt's at Ole Miss. And number 9, Nebraska is at UCLA. NCAA women. Let's see. There was no top 25 action yesterday. There's no top 25 action tonight. There's only one tomorrow. Number 17, Kentucky hosts Arkansas. And that's the first round of the SEC tournament. So a lot of tournaments will be kicking off this week. And then we'll wait for Selection Sunday on the 15th. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Quick show. Again, at 8 o'clock, join my man Fuji. For Fuji's Philly Flair, he will have the lovely Miss Renee Washington on. Probably talk about her career. I had her on last year. We were talking about the Super Bowl and whatnot, Philly sports. So check him out. 8 o'clock here on the Cole County Entertainment Network, partnering with Goose Media. Shout out to Mr. Goose out there. Goose's Monte Cristo Lounge and Tobacconist out there in Limerick, Pennsylvania. Give him a shout out. But again, short show tonight. Pick it up tomorrow at 6 o'clock. 4 down territory, getting a lot of some NFL news. And then at 7 o'clock, then at 7 o'clock, it'll be early eating sports buffet with the Ginch. Have a couple other things in the works. I'll keep you posted. Keep safe out there. Keep warm as I end each show. Practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody every once in a while. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And for God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling with whatever fashion, inquire, ask questions. How can you get this person help? How can you help them? Yourself? Because you might not just be saving a life, you might be saving a multitude of lives. So, with all that being said, have a good night, everybody. And whatever sport you're watching or whatever you're doing, just have a good night. Again, check out my man Fuji, top of the hour, 8 o'clock, Cole County Entertainment Network, Goose Media, Fuji's Philly Flair, Miss Renee Washington will be his guest. There's only one thing left for me to do, and that's for Dandy Don Meredith to take me out. Have a good one.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.